Hello. Okay, this is the second video from removing the alternator from a 99 Saab 9.5, the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. In my last video, I took apart the engine mount bracket, lifted the engine with the jack using the 2x4 on right under the oil pan to give you some clearance. And once you get that clearance, you can use the I have it right here. Use this Allen key, and it's an 8mm, and you remove the tensioner off of this spot right here. I'm pointing to. It just comes right off. It's just the fact of getting the engine high enough to maneuver the Allen key, and then you're just working that way, unless you have a special tool like a ratchet or something to get that off there easier. So I removed that, and of course I unplugged the alternator. And then you have this alternator bracket right here, and you have 4 bolts. That holds it in. You have this one here, this one here. Let me get my extension pointer. You have this one right here that I'm pointing at, and then you have one in the back. Oh, that fell apart because I had it loose. To show you, so one in the back that's pretty hard, pretty difficult to get to. So once you take that out and you remove the screws out of the alternator using that same 8mm Allen key, and it's in this hole right here. There's a hole, and that's the top bolt goes in there, which is hard to get to as well. And then down here on the bottom, you have your bottom Allen key bolt that you pull out of here. And what I did was I bought that special tool that I showed you in my last video. I can grab it again for you. It's this key here. It's an 8mm as well. Put that in there with an extension and a ratchet, and that will come right out. Be advised though, there is a little tricky screw that is right here, this bolt. It looks like it's part of the bracket, but it's not. So you don't have to remove this bolt here. So just pull that one out right there, and then you'll be good. So I removed all that, all those screws. And I am also, in my last video, I mentioned removing the rear engine mount bolt from back there, but I didn't have to. I thought it was going to be harder to pull the alternator out, but it wasn't. So once you've loosened all those four bolts, the bracket easily comes out like so, and you have the alternator attached to it. You just wiggle that out, and this is where the top part of your alternator goes, and there's that hole I was telling you about. Again, as my luck would have it, it came out, my alternator bracket came out with ease, and upon observation, the back bolt was still in there, was still bolted in. I didn't get a chance to get back there and loosen it, and the bracket fell out, which means my bracket is broken, as well as here. Look at this big old crack. So by the looks of it, I have to go get a new bracket. Yeah. So much fun. And that's not just for European cars, Saabs. It's for any car, it can happen to anybody. So let's just set that down. And here's a picture of the tensioner. The tensioner comes out with ease. And as you can see, I still have that Allen key in there that I showed you earlier. So that's, and there's that 8mm hex Allen bolt that goes in the middle of it. That comes out pretty easy. So once you have that bracket out, your alternator is free to come out. And this is where I thought was going to be the hard part, which actually turned out to be pretty easy. I just grabbed the pulley, or rotated the alternator, grab the pulley, which I did with 2 hands, now I have 1 hand. Grab the pulley, and you can just wiggle it out. There you have it. There's your bad alternator, which I don't see how it's bad. I had it tested. It's turning freely. I didn't hear anything grinding. And compared to the other used alternator that I'm putting in, look how ugly that one is. And that one you can hear the gears. I guess that's what it is. So they said it was tested in skid alternator. So we'll slap that one in there. Let me show you really quick how the bracket is going to go. Those 2 little grooves there will go into here like so, and that's where your bolt will go in, and then your tensioner will go right there. That's how it'll look. Okay, so when I record again, I guess the third part, I will have the alternator installed back into there with the bracket, the new bracket, installed as well, along with the belt put back on, and just reassembly. Just go in reverse order, and yeah, my last video shouldn't be long at all. I'll just have it all pretty much put back together. And yeah, we just removed the alternator off of the 99 Saab 9.5, so you just go in reverse order when you reinstall it. Simple as that. Thanks again for watching.